Alright, I don't know what happened here, Nate. Things are not going as planned. This is not going well.
You wanna just get a new one from your friend?
Well, I don't have a new one.
Or you can get one from your friend.
Oh, I wish. I wish that was true. What is going on? Something's going on in there. I think it's that goofy little bearing on the back, that little washer. How do we get it to stay on? How do we do this? I don't know. Ah!
Why'd you take that out again?
Well, I just can't get it to go in right. So I'm going to take it out again, and I'm going to talk to it. I'm going to look at it, and I'm going to say, look, I know you're upset with me. I know you don't want to go back in, but I need you to go back in. All right, needs to cooperate now.
Hey, have you ever saw a bad guy?
Bad guy?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I could tell you a story. I don't really like that term, because I know that there's people that do bad stuff. But I believe that people can change, and somebody could do something bad now, and then later they could learn their lesson and be good again. If one of my kids is a pincher or a biter, I don't think that they're a bad person forever, even though pinching and biting is bad. It's sort of my job to teach them to be good, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, we agree that people can change. So there's not really bad people, although there could be someone doing something bad. Or maybe all people are bad, and then there's just some that are a little bit nicer than others. But maybe all of us are a little bad. Okay, so anyway, I'll tell you a bad guy story. One time, I was living in a house, a big old farmhouse, and I was living in the attic. And I had a window facing my driveway. And I was getting ready to go to sleep when I heard a car coming up my driveway. And I wasn't expecting any visitors. And it was a little buzzy car. It sounded like this. Bzz, bzz, bzz. Like a little buzzy Honda car or something. Coming up my dirt driveway, bouncing on the potholes and rocks. And I didn't know anybody that drove that car, and there was no reason for anybody to be coming to see me at midnight, in the middle of the night in the dark. So I watched, and the car stopped by my barn, where my four-wheeler was parked. And I didn't know what they wanted. So I got my shotgun, and I fired a warning shot out the window. Flames come out the barrel. Big loud noise as the pellets break the speed of sound. And the car did this. Bzzz, and it drove away. So I thought, problem solved. Whoever that was, they won't be back. So I went to sleep. And I was not sleeping for too long before my friend that was living downstairs came whispering up the steps. Jimmy! Hey, Jimmy! Jimmy, wake up!
Why?
Hey, what's going on, man? Why are you whispering? What's going on? Why are you waking me up? He said, there's a guy. There's two guys. They're looking in the window downstairs. Two guys looking in my window downstairs? So I went over to his room where he had seen the two guys looking in the windows downstairs, and we didn't see anything. So I brought my gun with me, my shotgun, and we went outside looking for these guys that were looking in my window. What did they want? What were they doing? Who were they? So, what did we do next? We went out the door, and we walked around my house.
Mm-hmm.
And when we got to the other side, there was a guy looking in my window. So I said, hey, what are you doing? Looking in my window. Who are you and what do you want? And he turned around and I didn't know him. He was a stranger and he didn't say anything. So I walked a little closer and he took his hand and he put it in his jacket. It was cold night, like now, this kind of weather. And he put his hand in his jacket. I didn't know what he was doing. I thought, Maybe he has a gun too. So I didn't shoot him. I just took my gun and I put it up in the air and I brought it down and smacked him in his head. And he fell over and we saw that he didn't have a gun. And we asked him again, what are you doing? And he didn't answer. So we brought him by his ears and we drug him into my kitchen. We don't know what happened to the other guy. I think he ran away. We drugged this guy into the kitchen and we sat him down in my kitchen chair. And we asked him some more questions. And he said he was looking for his lost four-wheeler. He was looking in my windows in my house. I don't have any four-wheelers in my house. I had one in my barn, which he probably saw the first time he was there in his car. I don't know what this guy was up to, but he sure did seem like a bad guy.
The bad guys have guns.
He didn't have a gun. So we drove him out to the middle of the woods really far away and we let him out of the truck and he had to walk home.
Why?
Well, what else do you do with somebody like that? You don't just let them out back in your yard again and go to sleep. Do you?
We just let our dogs out, and my dad had to sleep downstairs one night.
He did?
Mm-hmm.
Why?
I don't know. Because the dogs were barking all night.
Well, if your dad's sleeping downstairs, he's probably tired of your mom snoring.
My mom doesn't snore.
Who knows? You never know. All right, let's try this again. Here we go. I wish I knew if that worked. I'm just gonna shake it. I'm just gonna shake it. Shake it, shake it, shake it. Shake and bake it. It doesn't really seem to be working, does it? Are you working? Will you work? I don't know. It's hard to say. I can't say today. What if I go over here and put one hand in there and one hand back here and just wiggle, 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 turn, turn, turn. Wiggle, 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 turn, turn, turn. But I'm in the process. I've taken a bunch of stuff out of that box over there, which is all used parts out of the transmissions that I took apart to use for parts for the other transmission. And I'm replacing the parts that look really bad in this transmission with the parts that didn't look too bad in that box. So far, it seems like I might actually be doing something. Not sure. Just gonna clean this up a little bit, stick it back in, I think. Yeah. So my steel's a little blue. That's okay, right? Uh-oh, what's your issue? What is your issue? What is your major malfunction? You got a lot of shit gunked up in there. Okay. We'll call that clean enough. Now, oh, forgot this is a glass table. There's the steel I'm looking for. Stick that back in there. Doesn't want to cooperate. Why don't you want to cooperate? Don't you want to go home? Don't you want to go back in there? I don't think he does. He came out of there. Why don't you want to go back? Isn't that a nice place to live? Let's try this way. Maybe my eyesight's just off, but that surely doesn't seem flat. No, something's wrong. What happened? So we've got major issues going on here, I think. That's what I think's going on. I think that thing is messed up. Yep. I can see it. We got a major complication going on in here. I don't know if there's a snap ring falling apart or if it's just a piece of rubber. I don't know if this slides out or not, but we got a cockeyed basket here. I'm gonna call it a cockeyed basket. No idea what I'm supposed to call it, but you can come take a look. Right here, this piece in here, which is set down in there and pressed in or locked in somehow, is cockeyed. That will not be working. So let's see if I've got another over here. All right, here we go. Oh. Let's just take this one and start with this one instead. So we'll put this one off to the side. Now we're gonna have a big pile of stuff on the table here, but that's okay. There's that one. Okay, let's keep it in the order it came out. That way we know when we go back to put it together what the hell we're doing. So that looked like that, and all is well. Let's put this one in there. It's not broken, right? No, this one doesn't seem to be broken or tore up too badly. It actually looks like it's in better shape than that one. So that's good. Let's take this snap ring off. Whew. Very carefully remove this snap ring. Put it over there for safekeeping. Put that over there for safekeeping. We'll put this over there for safekeeping. We'll turn this upside down. This stuff looks brand new too, by the way. So I think we'll just be sticking with this piece. I'll dump all these out and see what we've got going on. This already looks much better. Everything inside this one looks to be everything inside this one looks nice. Let's put this back here. And then let's just inspect everything as we put it in. Does it start with a clutch? Does this one start with a clutch? This one started with a steel. How'd that happen? Oh, because there's a steel attached to the basket there. I guess that's the top, so this is the bottom. Okay. Yeah, right, I dumped it in my hand like that. That makes sense. Okay, let's put that back in. You go in there. I want you to go in there, and there you go. Drops right in, no problem. And these are super grippy. These are... How are these brand new? I don't know how these are brand new, but they seem like they're brand new. They can't... Okay. We don't know what happened. They look good. Look good to me. They look better than the ones that came out of here. Or out of this one. So... Here's a clutch that's been burned. All the sandpaper is gone. It's down to the metal. And here's one covered in nice new sandpaper. Very good. I don't know if they actually call it sandpaper, but that's what I call it. Clutches have sandpaper on them. Well, that one's got a missing tooth. Or do they all have a missing tooth? Huh, wonder why that one's got a missing tooth. It's a mystery. We're never gonna know. I started out with this stuff very enthusiastic and excited to dig into transmissions and figure this out. Well, I mean, at first very nervous. Much rather let somebody else do this sort of thing for me. But when it comes down to it, you gotta learn how to do this stuff. So first you're nervous, but then, you know, you're excited. You wanna do this. Like, yeah, sure, I could do this. No problem. I'm gonna learn how to do this, and that's what you're gonna do, right? Well, now at this point, after it not working so many times, it's become less and less exciting, a little bit more frustrating. But instead of getting angry or frustrated with this thing, I'm just putting it together. At this point, you know what? I'm not gonna have my hopes up. Every time you do something, you think you're fixing it, and then you do it, and you put it together, and it seems like you just made everything worse all of a sudden. I'm trying to sort all this stuff out. I'm not trying to do a bad job. I'm not trying to rush it, but I didn't buy anything. I'm just throwing used parts in it, and either it's gonna work or I'm going to set it on fire or sink it in a lake. I mean, it just has to be that way. So I'm gonna take this little screwdriver, just line all these teeth up on the clutches so I can slide that basket down in here. I don't know if it's called a basket, but I'm gonna call it a basket today. I might call it something else tomorrow. I might call it something else later today, but as of right now, you are a basket. Looks like we gotta... Okay, yeah, it looks like a basket, doesn't it? Yeah, it's a basket. Who knows what it's actually called? Person that invented it probably called it a basket, and then everybody made fun of him and gave it a technical term. I bet if we could find that dude, he'd be like, yeah, it's a basket. Yeah, I know it's a basket, look at it. Bowl gear. Kind of looks like a bowl gear on a planetary. But I don't think that's actually what that's called either, so... It's a mystery. We're never going to know what that's called. Now, I wonder if we're all the way in. That's a mystery, too. How do we figure it out? How do we find out if we're all the way in? It didn't say ow. It didn't say ow and bite me. I have no idea. That's my only gauge to know whether or not it's all the way in. Is it in? I don't know. I didn't get bit yet. Okay, let's try this. Was that supposed to go in last? I don't know. Does any of this really matter? Once again, it's not like I know what I'm doing. Let's put this on there now. And if it all goes together, then I guess it's all the way in. Oh yeah, perfect. Good job, Jimmy Durr. Perfect. Muy perfecto. Muy perfecto. Now we put the snap ring back in. Try not to fling it out and take out my eyeballs. They are precious. Need them to see wonderful things of Earth all around me. Beautiful sights. Alright, look at that. Just like that, we've made a Lazy Susan. Come on back out of there. Come on. Alright, there we go. Now, I'm going to take this, drop it down in the transmission, all the while attempting to line up all the teeth on all clutches on my bowl gear, basket gear thingy. I'm just going to keep on turning and wiggling, lifting and turning, wiggling and wiggling, trying to get it to drop down into every single clutch. And when it's all the way in, it'll bite me and say, ow. If you go there, you might have a better view of what I do. Okay. Just trying to get this baby to drop down in there. Come on, there we go. Come on. Just keep wiggling, just keep turning, wiggling and jiggling. I can't stop wiggling it, I can't stop wiggling it, I can't stop jiggling it. Woo, I can't stop jiggling you. Wiggle, wiggle, turn, put it in, come on. Okay. Sometimes it seems like you're getting nowhere. But hey, sometimes it's okay to go nowhere. There we go, and just like that, it's all the way in. I'm a professional. Okay, we are ready to put the pump back in, put the valve body back on, put the pan on, jack this thing up, put it in the truck, and take it for a ride. Is it going to work? Yeah, of course it's going to work. I'm a transmission expert.